Give me some live dogs.
Do you?
Where do you want to start?
Yeah, live dogs. Are we betting Tim Boyle plus 8.5 at Atlanta
To win?
Why
no.
not?
Are you going to take him to win? Are you going to take him to win? I'm not.
I was setting you up, and then you just set me up. Okay, so we're not. Taking
I said
the Giants.
no.
All right.
I said no. Are you?
Okay,
but
so
you
here's
can.
the one I really. Here's the one I really want to bet. In all seriousness, and I probably will. It's the Jets to beat the Rams.
Oh man. Are you doing it because it's the Rams?
Yes.
Okay, look, the last couple of weeks, the old Rodgers is there. He's suddenly the guy that can throw for 300 yards. And the connection with Devontae Adams is there. Not so much Garrett Wilson this past week, but a couple weeks ago, Wilson had a great game. I understand if you want to back the Jets. People are going to hear this and say, oh, you're just doing the fade the Rams thing. You can't let it go. The Jets have looked good. They've looked good. It's meaningless football, but they're moving it for the first time all season over the last couple of games.
I did see this tweet from Stuckey on Thursday night or Friday morning after the Rams beat the Niners in the Rain Bowl. I thought this was a great tweet. At Stuckey 2, Rams at Jets next week. Game day market report. 107% of the bets are on the Rams, but the Jets have moved from pick to minus 11. Because the Sharps keep betting the Jets. Every week the Sharps bet the Jets. Yep. I will probably have some Jets money line. What else? What else do you like?
I can see that. All right, let's see. The Indianapolis Colts, they implode last week, and they are laying, what is it, 3.5, 4? 3.5, 4. There's a 4.5 out there, okay? So you've got Richardson. You know, with the Jonathan Taylor storyline and what he did in that game, that sucked up all of the energy. What people didn't realize is Anthony Richardson sucked again. Like if you look at completion percentage over expectation, we're talking dead last of all quarterbacks in week number 15. And then Levis is benched. Do we see some sort of a bump? At least what we think is you're getting a guy that's not going to throw 3 interceptions like Levis. What about the Titans getting more than a field goal? Are they going to be live at the Colts?
Is it Mason Rudolph?
I think so. It's looking that way.
Yeah, Levis got benched in front of his ex-girlfriend who went to the game, which is wild. I love that.
Mayo.
Yeah, yep. Sit down.
Yeah, they're starting Rudolph.
There are 2 dogs that I just despise. Tennessee.
Who's the best quarterback in this game?
None of the above. The other game I was going to say this dog stinks, but depending on where you look, they're both dogs. Jacksonville and Vegas. Some books have Vegas -1. Other books have Jacksonville -1. MGM has Vegas -1. I have no interest in betting that game. Jacksonville, Vegas. As for Tennessee, Indy, I could see Tennessee, of course.
What about a team that nobody's going to want to bet based on last week's performance against the Cowboys? Panthers against the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals defense, not that challenging, okay? There's big difference there. They're not going to get pressure like Parsons did last week. I see this anywhere between 3.5, 4, and 4.5. Panthers against Arizona. What do you think? Off the bat,
Panthers is a dog. Enticing. Yep. Panthers is a favorite, maybe never again in life.
Ever.
I'm just watching them. I'm watching them bet this Atlanta over as we speak. They're betting it up to 42. The Michael Penix offense boost or whatever I'm trying to say. They're betting that game over. Giants Atlanta right now. Yeah, I could bet Carolina +4, mostly because nobody else will want to do it. And they could win. Why not? Why can't they win? Arizona's nothing
I think
special.
They absolutely can. Absolutely. What about Pittsburgh getting 6 now? Let's say it's Watt and Pickens in. Can we go there?
I would bet it before the news comes out because 6 will not last if those guys are both in.
Yeah. More and more I hear, I think those guys are going to play. This is a big opportunity for them coming up on Saturday. Yep. Both Pickens And Watt, huge for the offense and the defenses there. The playoff picture is coming into focus, and I think each of us have at least a few teams that we are looking to bet against in the first round of the playoffs or whenever their first game ends up going down. Sam, why don't you start us off? Give us your 3 fades, starting with number 3.
So number 3 is not really a surprise if you've watched the show or if you watched me on Nesson. I don't believe in Dan Campbell coaching in the playoffs. I just don't. I think you have to be calculated and you have to be calm and cool, and he is not. And that rah-rah stuff works in the regular season when you're facing bad teams. Like when you go into New Orleans last year and on 4th and 8 from midfield, you go for it and you convert and everybody, like, I get it. Like, it's fine. But when you do that against good teams or great teams and make mistakes, those teams kill you. It happened last year with San Francisco, and that was a healthy Lions team. This team is also not healthy. You said the number, 22 players on injured reserve right now.
22.
A lot of those guys on defense. So if you thought he gambled last year, just wait until you see what he has in store this year. And if you look at the current standings in the NFC playoff picture, now Detroit is the one. So if the season ended today, they get the bye and go on into the next round. At this point, I don't think they're going to have the bye. So they might fall down to the 5 and then have to go on the road in that first game against either Tampa or Los Angeles or Seattle or Arizona or whoever. And it's not to say I don't like them in that game, but their path becomes so much tougher if they are not the one, which I don't believe they will. So that's it. If they're laying big spreads at home, no thank you. If they're short chalk on the road, no thank you. Their success to me this year was predicated on being indoors, and they did everything right up until this point. Still not good enough. So I've got the Lions on line 3 because the Lions never win anything. We've been alive a long time on this planet. How many times have the Lions won the big game? 0. And I don't expect that to change with just a depleted defense and a coach who continues to hit at the blackjack table on 19 and 20. Nope, not 21. For me. Maybe for you, not for me. Number 2, this is not really a shocker. I put Denver. Now, Denver probably gets in. Denver at current check is the 6th seed. The AFC to me feels locked up with Denver being the 5, or Baltimore being the 5, Denver the 6, LA Chargers the 7. I don't think Indy or Miami or Cincy are going to run the table, so I think Denver's in. That's going to be a very trendy team in the playoffs. They're going to go on the road, say it's to Pittsburgh or Baltimore, and people are going to go, oh, it's a lot of points with the Broncos. Oh, good defense, really good coach, Bo Nix. I think they're one and done, and I think they have the potential to get blown out. Remember, they went to Baltimore this year and got blown off the field. Now, just because that happened this season doesn't mean it's going to happen in the postseason. But I think rookie quarterback on the road postseason, that's not a place that I want to be. And this is my list. So I went 3 Lions, 2 Broncos, and then number 1 is the team that we've been talking about all season. It's the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud coming into the year, Hall of Famer. Bobby Slowick, the next Sean McVay. DeMeco Ryans, the next Mike Tomlin. Like all these comparisons and conversations about how Houston has arrived, you can't put the cart before the horse in the NFL. And believe it or not, Joe, with a full year of tape on CJ Stroud, other teams were able to study the tape and look at the tendencies and see what worked and what didn't work. And that team has been so lucky this year. The Texans are 9-5, and their win differential is plus 28 on the point side right now. Like, that's not a 9-5 team most year. Look, the Ravens are 9-5. Their differential is plus 86. The Steelers are 10-4. Point differential, plus 71. Like, plus 28 is not a 9-5 team. And how many of these close games can they keep squeaking by in? Beating the Colts, the Bears, Jacksonville, Indy again. Jacksonville again. Like, all of these are one-score games, barely putting away Miami in the last game. Okay, we give them credit for winning games, but this will not be a team that I put my money on. I work hard for this money. I won't have $1 on the Texans in the playoffs at any point in time. I'll be looking to bet against the Houston Texans in the playoffs.
All right, I like it. Sam, number 3. Number 3 fade is the Lions. Number 2, the Broncos. Number 1, the Texans. I have 2 new teams to add on my list of 3. So I like it. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Look, Sam's going to give up on fading the Ramily. I am not. The Rams are my number 3 playoff fade. And let's say they win the division because of a Geno Smith injury or some of the things that have happened along the way. I cannot wait because they're going to face the second best team in the NFC North at home. Whether it ends up being Minnesota or Detroit, they're probably going to be a dog at home. What if it's Detroit and Goff gets to be indoors again going against that Lions offense? Are they going to be able to keep pace? I don't think they will be able to. I love fading the Rams in this spot. That 4-5 matchup, as talented as some of these wild card teams are, especially in the NFC, that is a tough spot. We might see some home teams go down in the first round, especially on that NFC side. Let's say it's Minnesota, Green Bay, or Detroit and Green Bay in the 5 and the 6. So I've got the Rams as a fade here, just because the opponent is going to be so difficult, and we've been already hearing it for a couple of weeks now. Oh, the Rams are so scary. Okay, let's see. Let's see when they face these teams. Number 2 fade for me. I went somewhere else here as well. I went with the Commanders. It's a rookie quarterback, and it's Cliff Kingsbury. And we've already seen the fade in the second half of the season. They barely hung on against the Saints. I know there was some help with the clock operator in New Orleans here, but I don't trust the Commanders at all. What do they have that you can lean on, that you really trust? I know Jaden Daniels looks healthier right now, and that's a good thing for them, but it's not what he was doing in the first month of the year. Let's go over all of their wins. They have 9 of them. Oh, wait. I can't find a team that's above 500. Do you know their best win is Arizona? 7-7 Arizona is the best win for Washington of the 9 this year. Take advantage of the soft schedule, but you haven't beaten a good team yet. So I'm not going to be betting on them. Let's say they're the 7. They're going to go to Philly and win? Come on. They're going to go there and cover? I don't see it. Commanders, my number 2 fade. And probably a surprise to no one. We agree the number 1 fade of the playoffs is the Texans. You mentioned that plus 28-point differential. That is 13th in the NFL. Offensively, a lot of issues. Success rate among the worst in football. It's 30th. I thought they would try to change things up coming out of the bye with Slowick. They did not. And everybody's killing Slowick. Remember a year ago when that guy was going to be a head coaching candidate? Ain't going to happen this offseason with everything we've seen. The game plan is simple. Can you load up and stop Mixon? If you can, you're going to have a chance to take down the Texans. It's these early down runs again and again, and it's not working. And Mixon's getting very frustrated. When he doesn't have that matchup against a weak run defense, I wonder about the Texans. So in the first round, yeah, I'm going to fade them. This is another team. They're going to be at home in the first round, and they're going to face the best non-division winner, which right now would be Baltimore. You better believe I would take the Ravens on the road over the Texans. So my 3 fades, number 3, the Rams, number 2, the Commanders. Number 1, we agree here, it's the Houston Texans.